Alright, today you're working on domain and range. As you enter, place your number into the machine and record the output. Okay, so just like what you have been doing. There we go. So just as you have been doing, you are replacing the x value where x is to get your y. Okay, you can also do this in your calculator, right? Even your Calculate 84 app, if you type this into y equals, you're typing 3x plus 2, and it will give you the list of your y coordinates. Alright, so as you input a number for x, you will get an output of a number for a y value. So let's talk about the difference for x and y values. Determine the following words refer to x values or y values. Okay, your x values are independent. Alright. So therefore, if independent is x, your dependent is y. Okay? Now, as we do your x values is an input, your y value would be an output. Alright? So therefore, your x values are your range. Your y values would be the domain. Okay? So this is a good list to have in your notes page for you as a list of words. Alright, the domain of a function is all of the input values, remember, or the x values. The output values are called the range of the function. So your y values are the range. So as we talk here about domain and range, and I will give you this notes page when you get into class on Monday. Your domain, you look at the x's. So we're going to start with our x-axis, where it starts. So I see my graph starts here on the x, okay, and it's going forward. So your domain here will be written as your x values are greater than -4. Okay, because they are increasing, going across everywhere on your graph because my graph has an arrow on it. The reason I just put greater than -4 is because we have an open circle. I remember an open circle just has a greater than. Your range is talking about your y values. So I'm going to draw my line where it is on the y, where my graph is starting. Same thing, your y values, I have an open circle, are greater than -1 where it is on your graph. Okay, this one looks a little funky. So your x values, as you notice we have arrows this time on both ends of your graph. So your domain is actually going to be all real numbers. Okay, because it is encompassing everything on the x values, because if I were to continue this graph, this line would just keep on continuing on both sides on your x's. Alright, the same goes for your y also, because as it is continuing, okay, it can slowly continue, keep going up and down. Alright. Okay, this one looks a little different. As you notice, we have ends on our graphs this time. Right, so your domain, you're talking about your x's first. My x's start here at -5. And they end here at 4. So your x values are all, it's in between -5 and +4. Okay, they both have a less than or equal to sign. It's equal to because we have a closed circle. Your range, okay, this one looks a little different. I look at where the lowest point is on my graph on the y. So my lowest dip is down here at -3, and the highest dip is up here a little over 3. So your range values They go from -3. I'm going to say it's about +3. It's okay if it's a little over right now. Okay, here's another example. So your domain, remember we're talking about the x, starts here, and it's ending here. So as I look, it's going to be between these numbers of -5. Oh, no. Okay, it's not going to have a line under it this time because we have an open circle. Your range, remember the y values? Okay, my lowest y value is -4. The highest y value is +4. Okay, this one looks a little different. As you notice, this time we only have coordinate points. So we're not going to have a range here because we don't have a line flowing continuously through all of these points. Okay, so at this time you only list your x values. So I have an x value at -4. I have an x value at -1. I have an x value at +1, +2, and 5. Okay, we do the same for the range values. I have a coordinate point of -4, -3, +1, +3, and +5. Okay, as you notice, you list them in order from least to greatest. Alright, so you're going to decide which sticky notes goes with each graph. Okay, so looking at A real quick, you notice we have a continuous linear line. Okay, it's stretching continuously outside of my graph on both the x and the y. Therefore, your domain, okay, your domain would have to be all real numbers. Although it won't let me drag those. Okay. So for A, your domain, all real numbers. Sorry. Same with your range. Alright, for B, okay, your x's go from -6. My furthest x point is at 7. Alright, so this would have to be -6 through +7. Alright, so I'm going to give you the rest of these in class when you come on Monday so that we can go over the graphs. It won't let me end the video because I have too many things open. Huh?